The more years I spend on this earth, the more I realize that life is just one big learning process that honestly never ends.
Your things are as powerful.
Few things are as powerful as What is going on, beautiful people? You are listening to the Affirmations for Black Girls podcast, where we focus on personal growth and cultivating a healthy relationship with ourselves. I'm your host, Tyra, the creative actress, content creator, and mental health enthusiast. And today's episode is a little different. If you're listening on like Apple Music or our Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then you don't really see the difference. But you guys, this is my first video episode. Well, not my first video episode, but my first solo video episode, and I'm super excited. So, if you would like to do the video episode, go over to our YouTube channel. I linked it down below in the show notes. You can click it there because it is kind of hard to find because we only have like 1,000 and something subscribers right now. But you can go and watch the entire episode if you would like. But if you're already looking at the video, hello, welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Hey, we on video. Now, I am a YouTuber first. That's the first bit of content creation that I started to do way back in 2017. So I'm actually very comfortable being on camera, and you guys know I'm an actress. But for some reason, I am so nervous doing this podcast episode with video. And I think it's because honestly, I write out all of my scripts for every episode. And since I'm not able to just read from the things that I have written, I'm a little nervous because I don't like to ramble and I don't like to fumble my words and say things. I'm human. I'm human, you guys. So bear with me on this first episode. And I hope you guys like the video episodes because I really want to start rolling them out more just so we have more flexibility in the social media space of sharing affirmations for Black girls with everyone. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our affirmation of the week. This week's affirmation is I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. Let's go ahead and drop in, y'all. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. Let's go ahead and say it together one last time. I have the tools to get to where I am trying to go. Ooh, y'all. Now I know that wasn't grammatically correct, but that is the first thought that came to my head this morning when I woke up. I have the tools to get to where I'm trying to go. I have the tools to get where I am trying to go. And I just wanted to keep it as real, raw, and regular as possible. So that's why I left that extra two in there. But lately, I have been feeling uncomfortable with where I am in life and all of the things. And I had to, or God had to remind me. I was about to say I had to remind myself, but God had to remind me that I have the tools to get where I'm trying to go. And He is going to help me on that journey. And I can't worry or beat myself up with the idea that I'm not where I want to be because my timeline has nothing to do with God's timeline. And my timeline has no direct correlation with me having the tools to get to where I want to be in life. Okay, y'all. So I don't know if this episode will be as long as our traditional episodes. With me while we work out this video thing. I actually think I'm a little overexposed. I can see myself I got my little monitor going, y'all. Like, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I do this all the time, but it's different because it's the podcast. And I'm psyching myself out, but I'm about to keep going and y'all gonna get this episode. So happy Monday. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, then you know we have been doing our summer story series where I invited some guest hosts, listeners like you, to host their own episode of the podcast. And I had a great time. We had some amazing guest hosts, and I hope you guys really enjoyed those episodes. But I am back. It's been a long time no see. I'm glad to be back. Hey, stranger. Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad to be here. So mainly what this first episode back will be after my little summer hiatus will be more so like a lot of updates on life, things that have been happening because you guys haven't been able to have a peek into my life for the last almost 2 months. So, hey y'all. Um a few updates for you. So, as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, we now have video episodes of the podcast, and I'm super excited about that. Um, I'm not gonna say we're doing a video episode every week. I'm not gonna say that to you yet, but that is definitely the goal. But I do want to show my face more. I do want to have video so we can connect on a visual level as well. So, hey y'all. But I will say even if you do not listen or even if you don't watch the episodes, it's not going to change the audible experience. You are still going to be able to listen to the episode and not miss out on anything. So if you're more so like, I like to listen to my podcast, I don't really like to watch them, then by all means continue listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcast, because that aspect will not change. We will just be adding a few visual things that you could watch. You know what I mean? But you don't really have to. Um, so the biggest update for me that is outside of anything podcast specifically related is I have been traveling a lot, you guys. Since I have been on my little hiatus, I have gone on my first cruise and I have also taken a road trip to Napa Valley and I was in my eat, pray, love girl era. I had an amazing time and I'm just so excited to have had those experiences because that was my first time going on a cruise and it was my first road trip in basically like ever. It was my first road trip with one of my girlfriends. I will say, normally when I do a road trip, it has always been like with a boyfriend. Well, I did one way back in 2016. I went to Canada with one of my friends when I was living in New Jersey. But I will say the cruise was definitely a great experience. I was so scared at first, y'all. It was honestly ridiculous how scared I was, but overall, I had a great time and I booked my second cruise before we even left the first one. So I would say I had a great time. I'm going on another cruise with my brother in when are we going? I think we going in like November. But it's booked and I'm ready to go. And I'm just so excited that I am taking the time out to have experiences that being out in LA for 7 years before this year, I would have been afraid to take that chance. I would have been afraid to leave LA for that long because I could miss out on my opportunity to further my career. But what I'm learning through all of this traveling that I'm doing is that I need to do it scared. And that's been one of my like slogans for the longest. I even have merch that says do it scared. But do it scared, and that I have the tools to get to where I'm trying to go. I'm not going to miss out on my opportunity because what is for me is for me. What God has made for me, no man can take. And I really have to rest in that because if I sit in LA, for the rest of my life until my acting career takes off, look how much I can miss out on. Look at these amazing experiences that I have had this year, and I haven't missed out on one opportunity. Literally, the industry is so slow right now for actors. I've had a few auditions, but I've been able to get those auditions in. I haven't turned them in late. All of those things. I haven't booked any of them, but I still was able to do the auditions because ever since COVID happened, I think it was kind of like a blessing in disguise for actors specifically, but most of our auditions have been, at least the first round, have been self tapes. I can do that from anywhere. I don't have to be in LA. And it's honestly been a great switch up to be able to do that and travel the world, see new things. So I had a great time on my cruise. It was my 10-year Delta anniversary with my line sisters. It was amazing to spend time with them. I haven't spent an extended amount of time with them in years. So that was honestly amazing. And then so I went to Napa for 5 days with my friend Allison, and y'all, I was living. I'm not even gonna lie, I cannot wait to go back to Napa. I was drinking so much wine. And one thing that I learned is that I like red wine while I was in Napa, y'all. And it was just amazing to go to Napa because Napa is such, in my head anyway, it's such a romantic place. And for the longest, I was like, okay, when I get a boyfriend, I'm gonna go there. And I'm so glad that I just said, Tyra, we going. You don't need no man to go there. I'm so glad that I said that because I had an amazing time being there just for me, being there just because I wanted to go, doing the wine train and sipping on wine and giggling with Allison all night. Like, we had a great time, and I really can't wait to go back. It was so amazing. If you haven't seen any of my content on it, go look on my Instagram at Tyra the Creative or even on my TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, y'all. But I've been posting about it a lot, and I've been getting a lot of comments from friends like, I'm living through your travel content. And I was like, I never saw myself traveling like this, but it has really been so refreshing to do it without a man because that's the only time I really travel, and to do it just for me and have those new experiences for Tyra and not for Tyra and her significant other. You guys, I am turning 30 in a month and 10 days. I am so nervous, but I'm also super excited. Um I think I'm having like a moment where I'm nervous, but I'm excited and I want to throw up and I want to cry and I want to celebrate all at the same time. And I'm glad that I took this year of my la- this last year of my 20s to really live for me and show myself that I can do. Like I can do whatever. I can do it, I can do that, I can do this. I can I can experience new things. And for my 30th birthday, my best friend and I are going to Thailand, and I'm shaking in my boots. I've talked about this briefly on the podcast a while ago, but I have flight anxiety, and flying over an ocean, being in a plane for longer than it takes to get from here to Dallas, I'm shaking in my boots. I've flown from here to New York a few times, but the anxiety sets in so much. And it's kind of like backwards. So when we first decided that we were going to do this trip, I was so anxious and I was no good. Like my body was achy and all of that because I had built up so much stress. And as we get closer to the trip, we're leaving in, like a month. I'm getting more excited and I'm like, okay, well, we're going. We're doing this. The hotels are booked. The tickets are booked. The outfits are picked. The new suitcase is bought. It's about to like come in tomorrow. So I have to go. And I don't know. I am reveling in these feelings that I'm having. I'm reveling in the idea that I'm feeling things because there was a time in my life where I didn't really feel too much and I suppress, suppress, suppress. really no matter what it was, like except happiness. That's the only thing that I like really fully showed maybe like 10 years ago in my early 20s, like 2021. And I'm just excited that I am expressing more than I used to in the past. And I also love that earlier this year, I got to spend my mama's 50th birthday with her. I think it's so dope that we enter a new decade of life the same year. Like, how dope is that? And just to see the milestones that we have both accomplished in the new decade that we are both entering into. So she entered her 50s, I'm entering my 30s. And I'm also glad that I entered my 30s after she enters her 50s because I get to see like her lead up to a new decade. And then I'm like, okay, let me follow suit. Let me be excited because my mama is excited, y'all. She is blossoming. She is doing amazing things. She's traveling more. She was actually just out here in LA for a week with me. And I'm just I'm just so excited. I'm just so grateful that I'm able to share that experience with her. And this will be the first year in about 10 years that my brother and I are not in the same decade of life. We're 363 days apart, and he's going to turn 29 this year. And I don't know, I just like little things like that. Like, I'm like, wow, like we're really growing, we're really experiencing new things. And then taking a moment to reflect on how much we've accomplished in the last year or how much we've accomplished in the last decade and the things we've been through, the things that have shaped us into who we are today. I'm just so grateful for all of that. And I've wanted to go to Thailand for a long time. And I think it's very fitting to go for my 30th birthday because I'm going as a grown woman. When I was younger, I would have just, well, first of all, I would have waited on a man to go. That ran so deep in me, y'all. And I just don't understand why it actually did. But now it doesn't. And I'm glad that I'm going as an adult. And I'm glad that I'm going with one of my best friends because we're both turning 30, right? And one of my other friends will be there and she will have just turned 30 at the end of August. So I think it's just an amazing experience to have the three of us entering our 30s all within 30 days of each other and spending it in Thailand, a place where people go for refreshment, for renewal, for rebirth, for just sitting and reflecting and living a slower pace life. I'm so grateful that I get to spend that time with them. And I will also say, like, I'm gonna really use that time to clock in to who Tyra is, to check in, I mean, with who Tyra is and where I want to go, what I want to do in my 30s, what big things I want to accomplish. And I don't necessarily mean, oh, I want to make seven figures. That's not what I mean. What I mean is what do I want to do on a personal level? What type of growth do I want to achieve? What things do I want to learn? What things do I want to dive into, spend more time with? Those are more so the things that I want to focus on when I'm in Thailand. And I don't know. I think every trip that I've been on this year, January, I went to Hawaii. February, I was in New York. March, I sat my tail down. I didn't go anywhere in March because I was so tired. But in April, I went to Louisiana twice for my mama's birthday, her wedding, and then for one of my high school friends' wedding. May, I was also in Louisiana. And then at the end of, and then in June, went on my cruise. So I went to Cozumel on a cruise. And then in July and end of June, I went to Napa and now I'm here and I'm sitting my tail down in August so I can prepare for this trip to Thailand. I think this is a good like button trip for me for this year since I have really taken a chance on myself and traveled and experienced a part of life that has nothing to do with my acting career. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, life is one big learning process. And no matter what you decide to do in life, it ain't as easy as connecting the dots one, two, three, four. It ain't as easy as walking from point A to point B. From point A to point B, you may have to climb a mountain. You may have to ski down some slopes. You may have to hop across a rushing river on top of some river rocks. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a straight path for anyone. And I'm glad that along the way, now I am putting a bigger importance on enriching my life in different ways. And for my 29th year, I decided to enrich my life through traveling to new places. And I'm so grateful that I did that. And I'm just excited for what the rest of the year has in store. So, as you guys know, we have been doing themes for every single month. And this month's theme, it's like a working title for real, but this month's theme is all about continuing your education as an adult, diving deeper into enrichment. And I'm going to just read the little blurb that I created. So it says, as we step into the back to school season, it's an ideal time to reflect on our own educational journeys. This month, we're focusing on creating a personal curriculum for growth and cultivating curiosity in our daily lives. We'll explore practical ways to set personal learning goals, discover new interests, and maintain a mindset of lifelong learning. So I'm super excited about this month because y'all already know I am the hobby girl, and most of my hobbies do involve learning a new skill. So I was thinking about something that I really wanted to learn this year or learn this month. And since I'm like leading up to my trip to Thailand, I'm not about to like deep dive into something new. So I'm relearning something. I randomly came across a video on YouTube about um the recorder. Y'all remember we used to play the recorder in elementary school? I want to get a recorder and I want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on it. I think I can do that. Like that's pretty easy, but I think I want to learn a new song on the recorder. And the reason I want to do that is because that's something that we took very seriously when we were in elementary school. Like we were getting graded on it and all this stuff, and we learned how to do it. And then we just put the recorder away. And I'm like, well, why don't I relearn how to do it? Why don't I pick it up every now and then? Because I think something that I want to spotlight is we don't have to be an expert in everything. We can dibble and we can dabble. So I want to dabble in learning relearning the recorder and just feeling proud of myself for having that skill. It's not nothing that I want to make money from, nothing I want to create content around, nothing that I really want to even share with other people. It's something that's just for me and it's enriching. Music is a huge part of all of our lives, and why not relearn how to play the recorder? So I think that's what I want to focus on for the month of August. So think about some things that you want to relearn or start learning. I know later on in the year, once I sit down and, stop traveling so much, I think I want to take a gymnastics class, y'all. I think that'll be so dope to learn gymnastics, especially with like the Olympics going on right now. I see everybody making their content about doing all of the Simone Biles moves and tumbling and all of that stuff. I'm like, you know what? Let me take a gymnastics class because I don't even know how to do a cartwheel. Well, I'm not even gonna say I don't know how. I have never tried because I'm terrified. And that is what I'm trying to get out of as a whole. I don't want to be afraid to do a flip. I want to learn how to do a flip. So I want to do gymnastics just so I can remove that fear or work through that fear so I could do a little cartwheel and maybe do a backflip. Because what would you say if I walked up to you and I just did a backflip? What would you say? You'll be like, oh my God, Tyra can do a backflip. And I'll be like, yep, I sure can do a backflip. But I say that to say, like, there's so many amazing things that we can learn out there, and it's not necessarily for anything other than personal satisfaction, personal gratification. Like, that's it. And I think a lot of, well, I was having this conversation with one of my friends yesterday. A lot of people out here don't have hobbies. A lot of people, like in our age range and things like that. And we were specifically talking about men, I will say, but there are a lot of people who don't really have hobbies and extracurricular activities that they like to indulge in other than drinking, partying, trying to escape things in their daily lives. And I think having enriching activities or just the mindset of lifelong learning can help you appreciate all of the little things that life has to offer. And that's why I'm so glad that this is our theme for the month. So I really want you guys to keep that in mind. Like if you journal, think about that tomorrow when you wake up, or even think about it right after you finish listening to this episode. What's something that you want to relearn? What's something that you knew how to do as a child that you kind of just let fall to the wayside? Would you want to try it again at least once or twice, you know? So it's just something to think about. And with that being said, something that I have also been trying to think about or trying to learn, and I've been doing it like by myself or I've been watching different videos on social media. I really want to learn how to make a very, very good flower bouquet. Like, why do these flowers go together? Why do you use this type of filler flower? Okay, if I'm feeling, this emotion, what would be a great bouquet to match that emotion? Like, just I want to learn how to make a great bouquet. I want to learn how to make a bouquet with like 10 different flowers in it. First of all, I want to know the names of those 10 different flowers and why they work together and how long the blooms stay alive, or all of the little things that we don't necessarily think about when we just buy a bouquet of roses from the store. I want to learn that type of stuff. So, I have something to share with you guys. We are going to do just that. And we're going to do it this month in honor of our theme, continuing learning as an adult. I am hosting our first virtual flower bouquet workshop. And it's kind of like a working title. Everything is a working title, but y'all already know how we roll over here. It's called Single Girls Deserve Flowers Too. And the reason I'm calling it Single Girls Deserve Flowers Too is because I'm a single girl, and sometimes I really put the flowers down because I'm like, I want to get flowers for a man. Here's the thing, y'all. It's an uphill battle every single day with my brain and my southern roots. It's every day because I'm like, okay, Tyra, I know that I can buy myself flowers, but also it would be nice to get them from a man. But we ain't worrying about that right now. You ain't got no man. So you're gonna have to buy your own flowers. And I really want like the nice bouquets. And I want to learn how to make those for myself, make them for friends, or like, for birthdays and things like that, or just have a dope centerpiece when I invite friends over for like dinner. So we're gonna host our first one. So I want to get some. I want to see who is interested in doing this virtual flower bouquet workshop. So sign up with the link down below. If you are listening, it's in the show notes. If you're watching on YouTube, it's down in the description box below. Sign up and you'll get all of the information. And y'all, I promise you it's happening. Okay. I know in the past, I told you guys we were doing something in February and then it kind of fell through, but this is a virtual event and I'm super excited to kick off our community events with a virtual event because I know you guys are everywhere. Only about 80% of our demo is in the United States. We have people listening in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Australia. I saw some people listening in Australia when I was looking at the demo, Europe, everywhere. We have people everywhere. So I really want everyone to be able to possibly take part in some community events. So we're still fine tuning a date and time, but you will learn how to make a flower bouquet, and all of the details will be provided to you ASAP, but it is virtual. So go ahead and sign up for the wait list, and it is free. I will say it is free, but there will be a cap on how many people we let into it. So go ahead and sign up for the wait list. Um, and yeah, I'm super excited to, figure this out. So those are some of the things that I really want to dive deeper into. I think it's going to be so dope doing the flower bouquet workshop, especially like we're on the cusp of fall. Like it's summer now, but it's also fall. Like there's so many. A summer bouquet is different from a fall bouquet. And I want to learn how to do it all, y'all. Okay. Life, no matter what you decide to do with it, is not a linear path. And we can't always focus on the end goal. The 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 journey is what we are here for. The enriching activities, the memories that we create along the way, the laughs we share. I really think that's what life is all about. And I guess I'm just getting more sentimental with my old age. I'm about to be 30 now, but I'm just super excited to dive back into things that I explored more as a child. I think that is the overarching message that I want to give from this episode. I used to draw and dream of all of these amazing things that I really never thought I would actually ever do, and I'm doing them. Like when I went to Rome in 2019, that is something that I drew pictures of when I was growing up. I was like, I want to go to Rome and I want to go to the Colosseum. And when I did that in 2019, it was one of the most surreal things I have ever experienced because I was like, wow, I have wanted to do this for so long and I'm doing it. Like you really can do what you put your mind to. If you say, hey, I want to go to Hawaii, you can go to Hawaii. You make the plan and you go. If you say, hey, I really want to learn how to do a backflip, you can sign up for a gymnastics class. Like it's honestly amazing to have free will. And I encourage you to lean more into the things that you deeply, deeply desire to do and experience. Uh-oh, y'all. You already know what time it is. It is time for our fun closing segment. Today's closing segment is Solo Dolo, where I share some life updates of my dating life. I'm gonna keep this brief because it ain't really much to tell. I kind of I don't even know if I told y'all about this, but long story, maybe I did. I don't know. Here it is. Long story short, y'all, I'm not taking a break from dating, but I am not wasting my time. I'm no longer wasting my time past date number one. And I think a lot of times when people say things like this or they hear people say stuff like this, they kind of put judgment on them like you're not giving them a chance and all of this type of stuff. But all I'm saying is my intuition is a lot louder these days, and God's voice is a lot louder these days. And if I hear God say no, it's just a no. That's it. If I feel confusion or I feel like, oh no, I don't like tread lightly in this area, I'm going to heed those warnings because it's been too many times where I have not. It's been too many times where I have been a little too bored and I'm like, well, this will add some excitement to my life. And I'm tired of the constant rat race. I'm tired of going in circles over and over and over again. So I think I told y'all this, but I was talking to this guy. Long story short, he's a liar. He is one of the biggest liars I've ever met in my life. And he would lie about things that didn't require a lie, didn't even require you to tell me. And he had 5 kids. Y'all, I don't know why I wasn't out the door day one, but I decided to give this man a chance. And long story short, after I finally said, okay, Tyra, what are you doing? Because you ain't trying to be with this man. You knew that when he said he had 5 kids and 4 baby mamas and been married twice, and he only 32 years old. But I still gave it a chance. And it was just after reflecting on it, it was just because I was bored and I liked having attention. And that just means that I need to pour into myself a little more so that I am not bored in that way. And so that I am not seeking external validation or attention from anyone else. I need to give myself those things. I am not operating as my highest self when I am lacking in those areas and looking for that in other people. So, yeah, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired of wasting my time. And it's literally me wasting my time. It's not these young men wasting my time. It's me. Most of the time it is us, or we always have something to do with the amount of time that we are wasting. But I was just tired of getting lied to. Like this man really told me, I'll tell y'all two of the lies. So this man really told me that, well, first, when I first met him, he told me that he was not an actor, right? He told me he did something else, right? And in my head I was like, okay, perfect, because I'm not trying to date anyone in the industry. This is refreshing. Long story short, he ends up saying, "Oh yeah, I've been trying to do, or I've been doing theater my whole life, blah blah blah." And in my head I was like, "Oh, that's funny because you didn't mention that the first month of us talking." So that's kind of weird. But he ends up saying one day, "Oh yeah, I just got signed by a new manager and I have an audition for the new Black Panther movie." This was in April of this year, April 2024. At that time, they didn't even know who was directing the Black Panther movie. They didn't even know Black Panther was going to be in Black Panther. So how do you know you got an audition when you don't have no credits? So I said, "Okay," like trying to be supportive. "Oh, okay, dope. What's the audition? What role is the audition for?" No, I didn't even ask him that first. I said, "When is the audition? That's dope." And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "That's odd. Normally, when you get an audition, you know when you have the audition. Well, what's the role? Like, do you have time to prepare or whatever? Like, are you excited about the role?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know what role." I said, "Get out of here. Stop lying to me." That was one of my final straws, and I was like, "That's also odd. How do you not know when your audition is or what role it's for, but you got an audition?" And his exact words to me were, "Tyra, don't blow my high." And I said, "I'm not trying to blow your high, but that's odd that you have an audition for a Black Panther movie that isn't even set in stone yet, and you don't know who or when you auditioned it for. How you got what is the audition? What did they tell you?" And he just changed the subject, and I was like, "I'm so over this." I was completely and totally over it. And one of the other lies that really got me was the fact that he y'all, so if you're watching on YouTube, you see this table back here behind me. So he built this for me, right? And I was telling him, like, after, I was like, "Thank you so much for building this. It's from IKEA. You don't have to take the boxes down. I'll take the boxes down because it's very hard to find the recycling or whatever. Every time I tell people where it is, they never find it." And he was like, "You could tell me. I'll be able to find it." And I was like, "Are you sure? Because you're not going to have any service down there. You're already going to be down there. I can literally just take the boxes. It's fine. You put it together." He was like, "No, I'll do it." So I tell him how to get to the recycling bin. He takes the boxes down and he actually leaves to go home. And he calls me and was like, "Yeah, I don't know why people have had trouble with that. That was the easiest thing ever." And I was like, "Yay, I'm so glad you found it." I let it go. So the next day we were going on a date. He came to pick me up and he parked in a place where we had to pass by the trash area. And I was like, "Oh, well, the door is over here." So I walk around the corner really quickly and he was like, "No, no, no, let's just go this way." But before he grabs me, I see some IKEA boxes in the corner stuffed where they're not supposed to be, nowhere near the trash, past the trash can, actually, in a little corner. And I was like, in my head, I was like, "I know these are not my boxes," but it happened so quickly. And also, why are you jacking me so quickly like that? Like something happened. He did not want me to see those boxes, y'all. Those were the boxes from my IKEA thing. But we were about to go to the movies and we had already bought tickets and stuff. And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna bring this up later." And this was like kind of early on of us talking. So I didn't want to rock the boat at that point over some boxes, right? But also, why you lied like that? Because you could have just not said anything. You like most of the lies that he has said to me were like lies like that. Like, why are you lying? Like, it's so weird that you're lying about that. And I don't know, that just really like turned me off to that. And he also, last thing I'm gonna say, he also asked me to be his girlfriend at Catch LA, and he did a grand gesture that was very very sweet. I will say it was very very sweet, but it was the timing of it was very weird. And I'm like, "We just met. I'm not about to be your girlfriend." I told him no, obviously, but it was just so weird that he did that and was like, he started telling me he loved me and all this stuff. A love bomber. He had all of the tendencies of a love bomber from what I have researched. But after I cut that off, I was just like, I am tired of wasting my time because I talked to him for what, 3 months? Yeah, February, March. Yeah, 3 months. And I knew after well, he didn't tell me on the first date, but I knew after he told me he had 5 kids that this wasn't going to work. And I was still trying to give him a chance because he said, people never give me a chance when I tell you how many kids I have, when I tell them how many kids I have on the first date. Because I asked him, why didn't you say that up front? Because we had been talking for a couple of weeks at that point before he said that he had 5 kids. And I was just like, that is something that you say. That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth. You have 5 kids under 10 years old and you're 32, sir. So, anyways, that is my dating experience. And yeah, that's all I got to say on that. But I'm really just leaning into being here for me, experiencing new things for me, and I'm just, excited to be here. So I have some ending announcements that I want to make, and then I'm gonna just let you guys go ahead and get up out of here. So the first thing that I want to say, the newsletter is back. If you are already subscribed to the newsletter, then you've already been getting some gems into your inbox. Make sure that you add our email to your contacts so that it doesn't go to spam. So if you type in affirmations of black girls in your email, it'll pop up and save that email because I'm not sure which one it comes from, but I'm assuming it comes from hey at tyrathecreative.com or affirmations of black girls at gmail.com. But if you type in affirmations of black girls, you'll be able to find it, add us so you can make sure that the emails are coming. And we also have a book club. We have some exciting stuff going on in November for the book club. So if you're not already um, a part of the book club, click on the link down below in the description box or in the show notes of the episode and get ready because I'm super excited. We have some fun things going. Again, there are video episodes like this that you can watch on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And please, you guys, if you are watching on YouTube, please leave us a comment. Leave us a few comments. We're really trying to grow over here on YouTube so we can do some more amazing things. So watch the video episodes, or you can just still obviously listen to them on Apple Music, or I keep saying Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And the last thing that I want to say is in honor of coming back refreshed with a new look, we are doing a 3-part giveaway. We are doing a giveaway on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. Y'all, we have a TikTok account. Go and follow us right now. All of our links will be down below. But please follow us on TikTok. We literally just created the TikTok, but there are 3 separate giveaways and you can enter all 3. But the the ways to enter, the rules to enter will be down below in the show notes or in the description box, and you can enter on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Now, I'm going to show you guys what we have for the giveaway winners. Now, you'll obviously only be able to see this if you are watching the episode, but I am going to tell you what we have. So, first up, we have these. Ooh, there we go. We have these super cute take up space planners. They are undated planners and they are so cute. I got these during Black History Month and I'm finally giving them away. But they have like a schedule, top 3 priorities, to-do list, meal plan, and some notes. I think this is so dope for those of you who are looking to streamline their life and just, take more control and be a little more organized. So you are going to get one of these. I am also including a candle in there for you guys. Here is the candle in this one. It's a spiced pumpkin candle, but there will be 3 separate candles. This one smells so good. It is a soy wax candle. Oh my gosh. Every time I sniff this candle, it literally makes my mouth water. It smells so yummy. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, then you know that I am newly into Legos. I used to be a jigsaw girl, but I've done so many jigsaw puzzles. I just wanted to switch it up a little bit, but still do like puzzle things. So I am giving you your very own Lego set. Look at that. This is a helicopter, but it's a creator 3-in-1. So it can be made into 3 different things, which is so dope. So you can do a helicopter or a speedboat or a different type of or an airplane. Yeah. Helicopter air I said helicopter. This is not anyways, it's 2 different type of planes and then a speedboat. And then you'll also get some of this. It may not be the same scent, but this is the Champagne Toast Room Spray. I absolutely love this, you guys. It's from Bath and Body Works. I leave these in my car, and whenever I want my car to smell fresh, I use the mahogany teak wood specifically in my car, but they smell so good. They're so potent. You just need like 2 spritz. Let's see. Look at that. That was one spray. Oh my gosh. And it's feeling like they just smell so good. So I'm going to give you guys one of those as well. And if you are an OG listener on the podcast, then you will have heard about these plenty of times. AG1, you guys, I am giving you your own AG1 travel packs. I have gotten a lot of them from them. So I was like, okay, let me just share these with the audience because literally without you guys, I would not have gotten these partnerships and I would not have all of this stuff. So if you have not tried it yet, it'll be great for you as well. You'll get 5 of them in your goodie bag when you win, and you just take them once a day or, however often you want to, but I take them once a day. And then the last thing will be a love pop card. Y'all know I love greeting cards. I have literally half of my entertainment center is filled with like gifting things. So this is a love pop card, and love pop cards are just 3D greeting cards. So this one is of a monstera, and look, oh my gosh, it is so cute. So it just pops open just like that, and it's just a monstera plant. How adorable is that? That is so cute. Um, so yeah, that's the last thing that will be in your goodie bag. But as I said, the rules to enter will be down below in the show notes or in the episode description. Um, so, you guys, that's really all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be doing this new type of style on the podcast. And let me know if you liked it. Please let me know. We'll be back again next week with more of our regular episodes, but I really wanted to catch you guys up on my life a little bit because it's been a while since I have talked to you and also show my face. Hello, glad to be here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope to see you guys again next week. Make sure you like this episode if you're on YouTube. Make sure you rate the podcast and follow the podcast everywhere. Okay? Subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave us a message. I love seeing all of your reviews on the podcast. They really, honestly, truly warm my heart. So thank you guys so much. And I'll see you again next week. This is Affirmations for Black Girls.